Now, I believe that putting definitions around words can change the game. I think it can be the difference between success and failure. I think it can be the difference between a successful business and a not successful business. I believe that defining words, that means putting boundaries around what we actually mean, can change everything. So I'm willing to bet that if I ask you what the difference between an organization is, what the difference between a company is and a business is, that you'd probably say it all means the same thing. And to a large extent, you might be right. But in this video, I want to uncover the differences. And it's simple, but it makes all the difference in the world. I want to uncover the differences between these definitions because I believe that if I can provide more clarity around how to navigate the business space, if you're an early entrepreneur, if you're an individual that's been a solo entrepreneur but you've hit a wall, if you're a small team or you're running a small team and you're like thinking, hey, what's my next step? Well, understanding this could be that difference maker that takes you to a different understanding. A lot of people confuse simplicity with cheapness. They confuse complexity with value, and that's just not the case. In fact, it takes a lot more effort to convey something simply in a way that doesn't dilute the message than it does to just dump everything on somebody or not take the time to sort out the nuances and the differences. And so in this video, I'm going to be explaining the differences between a business, an organization, and a company. It's simple stuff. It should be business 101, but it's not taught. And I'm hoping to uncover this. So join me on this journey. It'll be quick, but it'll be valuable and it'll be something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. Let's get into it. Now, for the longest time, I refrained from making content like this because a lot of people overlook it. A lot of people see this information and they think, I know it, it's the basics. I don't need to think about this. But if you're ever watching a movie and you ever see a hero hit their weak points in the story and they need to get through this slump, they always return back to the basics. Let's go to Rocky. Rocky the champ. Well, he went back to the basics whenever he was fighting a newer and a bigger opponent. And some of these basics he had overlooked in his initial runs. Well, this is one of those things that can help refine your game, can make you more lethal, can make you more dangerous out there. And it's stuff that you need to know. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you a high level definition for the people that are in a rush and I got to go. But then for the other people that want to stick around for a little bit longer, we're going to get more into the details. Again, people listen to this stuff and they overwrite it, but it can make all the difference in the world. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first definition that I want to convey is business. We're going to put a box around that. The next one is an organization. We're going to put a box around that. And the next thing is a company. We're going to put a box around that. These are the three areas that people often conflate, but they are different in their meanings, and it can make the difference in terms of how you approach your business, entrepreneurship, and the work that you're doing. So business is primarily around the idea of being busy. It's in the word business, but we use it so casually that we lose sight of the fact that it's built around this idea for of being profitable in your business. It means that when you're spending time, when you're expending your energy, when you're working, not just in a job, but your body is working, are you doing it in a profitable way? Are you doing it where you're not taking more than you're giving? That's ultimately what makes a business sustainable. That's what makes staying busy sustainable. If you can't stay busy in a profitable way, well, then you're going to die out. And so that's a concept that's worth understanding on its own. The next concept is organization. Well, when you have your business, you want to think about how you organize it. Now, the word organ is in the word organization. And without getting too much into the weeds, we want to think about organizing our business with the elegance that our organs are organized with. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Now, the third definition here is company. And when we think about company, we want to think about people, a company of people. And people are the engine of the business. And so not only are you organizing your business and your activities, you're organizing your business and activities around the people that are inside of your entity, your organization, and you're also organizing the company of people so that way they can service the business. So at a high level, that's something to take away in terms of how you navigate. Now let's look at this at a more practical level. We'll look at the situations and the cases where people don't get this right. And just to be clear on this, even if you leave right now, I believe that that information can help you navigate, sort out different problems and how to prioritize different problems that you have going on. But outside of that, there's a deeper understanding that we're going to get to here in a second for the people that do stick around. And we're going to break down what this means when you don't pay attention to this. So if I don't understand that business is fundamentally about how we spend our energy and how we stay busy in a profitable way, then, and I just think it's about products and services, well, then I might make decisions differently than if I didn't do that at all. So I'll give you an example. Business. A lot of times people think just being busy is the goal of business. That's not it at all. Other people think it's just about products and services, and that can be confusing. Other people think it's just about a job, and that can also be a way of that limits our beliefs and what we're capable of. Now, the people that really get this are the people that usually are successful at business, and it's usually a paradigm shift. It's a perceptual thing where these people are looking at business as a way that they are channeling their energy. And that's really important to understand because if you look into the science of it, we're always spending energy. Our bodies are always working. Everybody's always working. It's just about whether or not we're working in a job, whether or not we're working at home, whether or not we're working on the field or doing whatever hobby we're doing. But the lines start to blur a little bit when we start to look at it through the lens of, oh, I'm just spending energy and I could either do it profitably or I can do it not profitably. I could do it in a way where I spend my time offering my services or my skills or my abilities to other people. That's how I stay busy. That's the most successful way to stay busy too, is offering something to somebody else and being in service of somebody else. That's why we produce things, and that's why we service. That's why we service our clientele and our customers and the people that buy from us. But the lines start to blur and it starts to become one when we realize that when I'm starting a business, it should be an extension of some part of my myself and how I choose to stay busy. And when that we can find alignment behind that, that's really when the power of business can take over. And I think that's what really people are after. The serial entrepreneurs, they find some type of satisfaction in being able to expend their energy to work in a way that's aligned with their intention and that also is aligned with other people's wants and needs and allows us to be profitable in a sustainable way. Now, the other side of that is not only doing it for us, but doing it with a company of people. And a company is the band of people. A lot of people get confused with this. And I'm going to look towards the stock market to give an example of why the stock market is so powerful as an idea and what people often get wrong about it. People will buy a stock and they don't really understand the asset that they're buying. People will buy a stock and they just look at the numbers and they try to commit arbitrage. That's why people will short sell. A lot of times, this is why people will make the decisions that they do because it's an uninformed relative to what an actual company of people is. And a company of people is a group of people. So imagine this. Imagine you take all of the A students in your, let's say, class, your kid class, all of the smartest kids there, and they go together and they say, we're gonna join all of our brain power together and we're gonna go and make things. Now, these people are brilliant. They're very they're very inventive and innovative, but they don't have the funds. And so they go around and they say, can we get some money to develop what we're working on? And so when you're investing in a company, a group of people that's staying busy in a profitable way, that's the asset that you're buying. You're buying into the rewards of this group of people's efforts towards a certain goal. That's really important, especially in the day where, and I will stop myself from going this deep over here, but especially in a world where people are investing in digital assets that don't necessarily have the same underlying value as a stock. It's important to know the difference, but that's a another video. So when you think of business, just think of the processes, the activities that people are doing. And when you think of the people, think of the company, the group of people, the makeup of the organization, which is the most important part. Because this is what organizes the company and this is what organizes the activities that we do. The organization is how we organize the business in a way that allows us to grow and scale at different stages. And you can see this at different parts of a business's life cycle, there are different priorities. And when we think about organization, it's largely around priorities or values or what we find important. Some of that is innovation. Some of that is being reliable. Some of that is showmanship and entertainment. Different companies prioritize different activities and have different values, and that largely is what creates the end result of what we see. But the main thing to take away is that a business, an organization, and a company all are different labels to describe this act of people coming together and working on something, staying busy in a profitable way, and doing it in an organized fashion. And when we're using these words, we're describing that process of us coming together. You might have heard this before, but people say that every business is a people business, and that's largely because we're organizing around a company of people that's staying busy in a profitable way. Really important to understand that. Now, we live in a crazy time. We live in a time where there's so much uncertainty in the job market, where people are going from the traditional 9 to 5 jobs in a business to being laid off or not even being able to get into the front door because there's just so much technology that's being introduced that businesses can't afford to make that hiring position. And if they can, they're saying, I don't want to take that chance right now. So a lot of people are turning to businesses. A lot of people are starting businesses. How fitting the topic of this video and the subject I'm about to bring up. Well, we're trying to help that process. We're trying to help people shift into a business, a solo business, a business of a small team, so that way you can have another option when you're going out here and trying to navigate this job market. So what we did is we made a platform called constants.com. You can get up and running in 10 minutes with a mini site that makes you money, that helps you sell while you sleep, and helps you grow a business in a profitable way. We make it really easy for you to add team members to build your small company out. And we make it really easy to stay organized by leveraging the latest technologies that are out there today. So if you're looking to start a business, if you're looking for a tool that can help you grow your business, check out constants.com. Again, it's the site that sells while you sleep. It's a mini site that makes you money. And it's the tool that you need to take your business from 0 to 1 or from 1 to that next step. Thank you for joining me on Constants Corner, and I will see you.